we will be finishing out the Batman Telltale series. So that's my plans. I actually like this game a lot. Yeah. This game, I'm a lot of story kind of has me wrapped up a little bit now. I love story games, you know me. So it's kind of got me wrapped up a little bit now. I think you missed yesterday's episode. I was trying to wait for so I've been trying to do this thing where I'm not streaming when my friends are streaming, so we don't end up like splitting our viewers. But it's becoming like more and more difficult to stream because I've realized that some of my streamers, my streamer friends are stream way harder than I do. As in, like, they'll be on for 6, 7, maybe 8 hours, and I'm like, man, if I keep this up, I'm never going to stream. So I think I'm gonna end that very soon for myself, just so I can like get streams in earlier and be able to like hang out with you guys. Let's see, I'm gonna give this like 5-ish more minutes maybe before I get started. Check some emails really quick too while I wait. Just to make sure nobody else misses anything, because I think you might have missed episode 2 yesterday. We did episode 2 last night. I got an email from Singularity 6. Ooh. They have leaked a new pet? Oh, no. It's an outfit. I see. Okay, the froggy tool skins are here as well too. What else we got here? Potato pods. More potato pods when you log in starting tomorrow. So they're giving away new potato pod rewards starting tomorrow through September 23rd. Okay. 2 more collectible potato pods. So I'm going to log in tomorrow on Palia just to get the pods, and then I'll probably get the rummage piles, and then I will be off of Palia again. Because, to be honest with you, I'm kind of bored in Palia, man. Kind of bored. Need some excitement in my life. I was not feeling well. I pretty much slept the entire day yesterday. Oh, no. How are you feeling today? Sorry, I was reading emails. Didn't see your message until now. Hopefully you're feeling better. I hope my mic is in a good position. I moved it away from my mouth because I was doing some editing on a lot of the Hogwarts Legacy stuff we did like 2 weeks ago, chopping it up and like uploading it to YouTube and things now. And I was hearing a lot of like breathing in the mic. I was like, man, why nobody tell me I was just straight up breathing in the mic like that? Nobody tells me anything. What the heck? Y'all just like my breath? What is this? I have bad brain fog. Oh no, post migraine, but I'm alright. Thanks for asking. Okay. Hope you're not coming down with some sickness. Sounds very familiar to what I had last month. Mine's the brain fog thing. I don't really get migraines or like headaches even, and I was getting like slight headache, body hurting last month, which was kind of like my first kind of signs of like, okay, I think I'm about to have COVID. Because when I tell you I really don't get headaches or migraines. That was kind of strange for me. Oh, okay. Well, I guess in a way, it's nothing out of the ordinary, and I guess also in a way of positivity, something you've dealt with before, so you know you can do again. So I guess those are two positive ways of looking at it. Still sucks that it's happening, though. I'm sorry that's happening. I feel the same way too. when people tell me like they have allergies. Like Zozo has pretty bad allergies sometimes, and I'm like, man, in a way I wish I could relate, but I'm glad that I can't, because I see some stuff they go through and I'm like, man, especially when the seasons change and stuff. Let's see. Trying to make sure this video exports really quick. It did. Beautiful. Still working on some of the Harry Potter stuff. I still have, just for reference here, I'm working on one right now, and I just started it. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 more Harry Potter streams to edit. Like, to edit and chop down and then throw on YouTube so we don't like just lose it all. And I think that's the thing I enjoy more about YouTube compared to Twitch. And I get that's just I guess depending on the kind of person you are. With YouTube, things stay a lot longer, and I can like keep them on there unless I want to remove them. With Twitch, is like you upload a video, and I've been told that there's ways you can like save some videos for longer, but for me, it's like a 2-week period, and then the video's gone forever. So I don't really enjoy that aspect. I think it's worth keeping. I like to go back sometimes and look at my foolishness. All right, without further ado, let's get into Batman. The Telltale Series, The Enemy Within. Sarah, you missed a lot, but I think that Batman kind of gives a brief explanation of what happened last episode. If he doesn't go super in depth, I will try my best to. Not signed in. Oh man, it says I'm not signed in. Okay, whatever. Alright, we're gonna be starting episode 3 this time. Man, episode 2 was kind of insane, and I don't know necessarily where this story is going to go. I'm going to try to give a brief explanation of what happened in episode 2, just in case Batman doesn't give like a full explanation. Last episode he gave a brief one, but he didn't go into detail about it. This episode kind of starts off with, we're still on the boat. I think last thing you remember happening was Riddler got, an arrow to the neck or whatever, a needle to the neck. I mean, you can go back and watch the video if you want. I'm just going to give you a rundown so you don't have to do all that. I'm trying to save you, 2-3 hours if I can. Riddler took a needle to the neck, and, he died. He kept talking about how he's supposed to have his gang, his people were supposed to show up, all that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. And we're sitting on the boat talking with Auntie and talking with Gordon. They're fighting over us. It feels like we're going through a bad breakup with 2 people that we didn't even know we were dating. When suddenly an explosion goes off in the city, which I'm like, that is genius. It's genius that an explosion goes off in the city because the special agents and the police department are all on the boat right now. So nobody's protecting the city. Turns out that the explosion's going off at Gotham Police Department itself. The armory of the police department is being raided by a bunch of thugs. Of course, we're Batman, and we go in and do some Batmaning. We bat it up, guys. We're batting it up so good. We're doing all the bat stuff as best as a bat can. And we stumble upon this big brute of a man wearing a luchador mask, full of tattoos, black tank top, little mustache.
You are not prepared.
Oh my god, Banan, what's up? Al, what's up? Yes, I am finishing Batman the Telltale Series. This is number 2. This is The Shadows Within. I'm finishing it this week, sorry. I'm doing episode 3 today, episode 4 tomorrow. Then I have Valheim with Zozo on Thursday. Then I have Kovu After Dark. Unless you guys want me to finish this on Friday, I have Kovu After Dark on Friday, and then I'll be finishing up Batman on Saturday. But that's what I'm doing this week. How you guys doing? Yeah, can you just start over? Because I missed a lot of it. I'll just explain episode 2 to Sarah. I would explain 2 whole episodes for you, Al. I don't think you were here for episode 1, and I'm on episode 3 now. Man, okay. Let me see if I can give like a full synopsis of episode 1 and episode 2 now. Jeez. Oh man. Okay, let me think. I watch your YouTube videos. These probably won't go up to like later on this month, to be honest with you. But I'll try to give you. I'm gonna try to do it. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in episode 1. So in episode 1, it starts off with us being Batman, and we're Batman, and we're batting it up as always. When a new / old crime boss has come into Gotham. He's walking around, he's dressed in green, the man is decked out in question marks, he got a nice cane, and he's asking people questions. He's asking people questions like, questions that have multiple answers, like, I don't know, I can't think of any riddles right now. He's asking them riddles. I was trying to think of one. For some reason I got stuck on like holes, and then I kept thinking about what's that one riddle that involves holes, and then I started thinking about the movie Holes, and then I got stuck on that's too damn bad, and I couldn't get out of that. So that's what happened in my brain just now, so you guys know. Anyway, Riddler shows up, asks people questions, all that kind of stuff, and we get into a fight with him, and we end up beating his tail, but he escapes, unfortunately. But we end up capturing one of his goons, which is good. Like one of his head honcho, one of his head goons. But also, the special agents show up. Amanda Waller, who we call Auntie now, also shows up. Basically saying they've been tracking Riddler for a while now, since he escaped. And that this is now her jurisdiction. She's now in charge, and we need to follow her orders, which we're Batman. We don't follow any orders. And she kind of takes over Gordon's PD, his police department, because she has the authority in this area now because she is a special agent. Meanwhile, Gordon's just a cop, and she's a special. I guess she will be a triple special agent because she's the leader of the special agents. To which, at the end of our Riddler battle, he leaves us with a parting gift, a box of some sort that we have to decipher. So us as Batman, we take it to the cave, we decipher it, we find out it's a record player, which we then get a message from. Ask something about he did ask something about what has eyes and cannot see or something like that. That is very true. He did ask that. But Nan, I'm not gonna laugh at that. I'm not gonna do it. I know you want me to. I'm not gonna do it. Okay? You're not gonna bait me, Banan. Okay? But no. Man, I'm trying to remember what happens after that. Okay, so we end up there's like a pulse that's coming from the record that we can't figure out. So we take it to our tech man. I think his name is Lucius or Lucius. I think it was Lucius. Lucius Fox. Who then tries to decipher this code and also introduces his daughter, who is now in college. She's a tech wizard too. The woman's designing drones and stuff already. She recognized a lot of the tech and stuff that's inside of the Wayne Tower already. Like, she's just a genius. To which Lucius kind of talks to us and he says we should probably rope his daughter into it too. It's better to have 2 tech geniuses on the party than 1. And I was like, yo, I agree with you. Let's do that. We then depart from there because we have some sort of meeting or something going on, and Lucius takes this strange box up to his room and starts tinkering around with it. While we're in the middle of this meeting with the special agents who are asking us a bunch of questions that they already know the answers to, we end up getting a call from Lucius that we can't ignore. We pick up the call, and Lucius says, get everybody out of the building, basically. And he basically leaves us with a tell my wife, tell Tiffany, who's his daughter, tell everybody I love them. Get out of the building, evacuate now. And next thing we know, we hear an explosion and the video feed cuts off. It then cuts to Lucius's funeral. And nobody but the one person that nobody wants to see, John, aka green-haired pale boy Joker, shows up at this man's funeral because he knows that we're going to be there, because he knows that me and Lucius are friends and Lucius worked for us, so he assumed that Bruce is going to be there. So he shows up and basically causes a scene, says that he has his gang of people that he wants us to meet, etc., and that, they're friends of his and they would love to meet Bruce Wayne, etc., and he said that he knew connections to us. So we kind of agree to keep the peace at this point, so he won't cause a big, scene at this funeral. Tiffany's also pissed at us at the funeral because we kind of admit to a bunch of stuff and kind of admit that the thing that we gave her father is the thing that got her killed. And she's like, I'm gonna figure out what the fuck that thing is that you gave him. I'm gonna figure it out. And she's out for vengeance right now, so she's very upset. What happens after the John thing? I'm trying to think of what happens after that. I think we ended up getting a tip from the special agents on a location of where Riddler's next riddle might be, or something along those lines. Oh no, we pieced together the sound waves. Kovu, why? Wait, why what? What? Why? What? Wait, Geek, what? I need you to explain. I kind of hate Batman. I also hate Batman. Your stream notification message, it's the best message. What do you mean? It's also very true. The best viewers are here. Like what do you want from me, Geek? What do you want from me? What do you mean? It's the best notification message. Once I saw it, I was like, every streamer is going to know what this message is. Every viewer is going to know what this message is. This is the best notification message to ever exist. Like, I have to use this. I agree with you too, Al. I also hate Batman. I think he is a terrible villain overall because, in my personal opinion, he is a billionaire. Get me right. Like, don't get me wrong. He owns half of Gotham. He could put some money into the city and probably repair some places and or create some jobs for some people. Granted, that's not going to necessarily stop crime, but from what I'm seeing, the reason why a lot of criminals go into the criminal activity with Gotham is because there's no other opportunity. My scam bot filters. I've seen my fair share of best viewers on bullshit. I almost thought you could hack, bro.
To enjoy emotional bonding.
That is so funny. I'm glad that you cared that much to make sure I wasn't getting hacked. BC, what's up? I was giving a rundown over like 2 episodes of what's going on right now for people who have missed. Long story short, in episode 1, we end up tracking down Riddler to this boat location where he has some special agents trapped, and we have to choose between which one to save. We end up saving both of them, but unfortunately one of them loses their hearing. We are beating the hell out of the Riddler when all of a sudden the Riddler gets like a needle, like poison dart to the neck. We didn't kill him, but by the time the police department shows up and the special agents show up, of course, perfect timing, the man's dead with a poison needle in his neck, and they just assume that I did it. Which leads us to episode 2. Episode 2, we're still on the boat. We're talking things over. Amanda Waller and the special agents are highly upset. They're like, how dare you keep talking to Gordon, although you guys have been friends for a really long time. And Gordon's like, how dare you let your auntie talk to me like that, although she does have supervision over me because she is technically my boss. But how dare you? And I'm like, Mom and Dad, please stop fighting. This is stupid. You're both acting like children. When all of a sudden, an explosion goes off in Gotham City, which makes sense because, again, the police department and now the special agents and Batman are all on this boat away from the city. So the boat basically was a decoy for the rest of Riddler's gang that never showed up and basically left him to die and or killed him to take over the city. And that's kind of where we're going into now with episode 2, right? Like, stay in your lane, man. Batman villains are just represented by, privilege and mistreatment. Meanwhile, rich ass Bruce Wayne is just like doing karate everywhere. That's exactly how I feel too. It's exactly how I feel too. Where I'm like, dude, you could probably put some money into like the hospitals, into like actual treatment facilities, etc. But instead, you dress up and just punch people at night and put them in jail. That's all you do. You just dress up and punch people and lock them away. But you lock them away in areas that can't really help them. Like, Arkham doesn't have like an actual facility for people who are mentally ill, etc. Hence why Harley Quinn exists. and Joker still exists, I guess. But anyway, it's whatever. It's beside the point. I'm not here to argue about Batman. I agree with you. Batman's elitist, hapless. Yeah, wannabe cop who beats up people just trying to make a way to survive. I do not respect that ninja. I agree, man. I agree with everything. Like, and people make the argument like he can't do that. I'm like, I have seen so many people that have done it. Like, there's a reason why there's a word. I forgot what it's called. Gentrification exists. There's a reason why gentrification, like that word, exists. People buying up lower, you know, either lower
Sean the
income
non-believer.
Sean. What's up, Zozo?
Sean.
Or areas that are cheap and quote unquote building them back up, and then you see the prices and the economy of things around it begin to change. Like that's a reason why that. Anyway, I'm not doing this. We're not doing the debate why Batman's bad. Because I agree with you. Batman is a terrible hero. He is more of an anti-hero, if anything. Deadpool is probably a better hero than Batman. I know that's a stretch, but maybe not. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyway, okay. So, explosion goes off in Gotham, and Batman, of course, takes off. He's like, I'm Batman. I gotta go figure out what's going out there. People are dying. I gotta go save them. So we arrive at this explosion. The explosion is at the Gotham Police Department, and the artillery is being raided by this group of thugs. So we're in there. Again, we're Batman. We're Batmaning it up. We're batting everywhere. We're bat attacking. We're bat kicking. We're bataranging. We're bat nut chopping. We're doing all kinds of bat stuff. When a big old overgrown brute of a man wearing a luchador mask, little tiny mustache, covered in tattoos, black tank top, somewhat, now I'm describing him, he sounds kind of hot, sounds kind of mysterious, but he shows up and he says, my name is Bane, and that's kind of how he sounds. My name is Bane. I'm here to destroy the bat because I don't like the bat, so the bat must get attacked by Bane. And they literally describe him as being an overgrown testicle or an overgrown bicep at this point, because that's basically what he is. Bane beats the ever-living crap out of Bruce. Like, he beats the brakes off of Batman. He shoots up full of steroids to do it, but when I tell you this man beats the brakes off of Batman, leaving him in a pile of rubble. And the only reason why he didn't die is because this little old man that we saved in the beginning of this thing, this whole scenario, the guy who's watching, I guess, the police department, or the janitor. I think he was a janitor. We saved him in the beginning, and he came through and stabbed Bane twice in the neck with a knife. He did some stabby, and like ended up dying as well too, though. But he saved Bruce and saved Batman at the end of it. Latino Lucha, he really did. He really did. He should have minded his damn business. I mean, you're not wrong. But we're left with the choice at the end of, while we're under this pile of rubble, of who to call. Do we call Amanda Waller with the special agents? Or do we call Gordon? I'm like, it's Gordon's police department. I'm going to call Gordon. He probably knows his place better than anybody. So I call Gordon. Gordon shows up and is not really much help, but they get him away. They get Batman away from underneath the rubble. And I kind of tell him that Amanda Waller knows who Batman is. That's something that Amanda revealed at the very end of episode 1. She basically looked Batman dead in the eyes and said, hey, I need you to work with me, alright? You're doing some stuff that I can't necessarily do, but I can help you. I can be a powerful ally, Bruce Wayne. And that's how episode 1 ended. So he basically tells Gordon that, like, Amanda knows something. She has something on me. And he's like, well, damn it. Now I understand why you're helping her. Shit. Well, I guess I have been an asshole this whole time. Sorry, Bruce. Sorry, Batman. I don't know who you are, but she does, apparently. Well, sorry, man. And Batman's at this point, like, he's bleeding, he's bloody. Like, this man is, like, again, Bane beat the brakes. Now, that's a lot of bees, but literally, Bane beat the brakes off of Batman and the Batmobile and everything that was Bat. Like, there is no bee left. It's just the Atmobile right now and the Atman. Like, he beat the bees off of him. Crazy. So Batman gets back to the tower. He's talking with Alfred. Alfred's shaking up. Alfred's like, man, you were gone for so long. I was so scared. He's like, man, you should be used to this by now. I've been Batmaning for like 12 years or however long it's been now. And Alfred's like, I know, but I'm also getting old, and I wanted to make sure you're safe because I get worried. You're my family. And he's like, I know, Alfred. That kind of thing. And that's when we're kind of introduced to more members of the gang. We're introduced to a mystery suspect that did a bunch of stuff that we haven't even seen yet, which we kind of put pieces together because they said it was frozen in ice. I was like, oh, that's Mr. Freeze. And the other person, which we get a clear picture of because she didn't even try to hide her face, is walking around bashing people's skulls in with a sledgehammer, is Harley Quinn. We are met with Harley Quinn. Alfred kind of remembers back to episode 1 when John said that there was a gang that he wanted us to meet. And he's like, well, John could be our in to getting in with the rest of this gang. We call John up, have a beer with John. John kind of introduces us to the gang immediately. He walks us to this car that he clearly stole because the man trying to hotwire a car in the middle of an alley. So he clearly just stole this car. When all of a sudden someone else sits in the back seat. And who else would it be other than Miss Harley Quinn? So Harley Quinn in this game she's in charge.
Kovu.
What's up, Domo? How you doing, Sadie? No one other than Miss Harley Quinn. So Harley's actually the leader of the gang. I don't know how that happened, but in this storyline, Harley Quinn is the leader of this gang, and she is all over the place. Like she's out of her mind, bro. One moment she's trying to seduce Bruce, next moment she's trying to
Kovu.
Harlessi Quinussi is insane. She is absolutely insane. Thank you, Geek. Like, I agree.
Failure.
I agree. Failure. What is happening? The storyline is so different. Yes, the storyline for this is so different, which I do enjoy. Like, it's a great storyline so far, which is why I said that the lore has...
Sean the non-believer! Sean! Sean!
Oh my god, you guys come in with all the sound alerts right now. I love it. But Harley basically sits down and she's trying to sweet talk Bruce. She's basically asking
how
Bruce...
thrilling it is to converse with a non-moron.
I feel like Geek's discovering all of my sound effects right now. I needed to hear that. But no, she's basically trying to figure out why would Bruce Wayne be interested in getting in with a gang of thugs? You know what I mean? And I'm kind of playing it off like, well, my family was involved in crime, so, I could be involved in it too for all I know. For people like us, and I'm trying to relate to her, and she's not buying it. She's like, hey, John. I'm going to do my best Harley Quinn, my best Harley Quinn if I can. Here we go. Hey, John. Could you go get me a slushie from down the street? It'll be just a moment, dear. Can you go get me a slushie just real quick? Just real quick. And he's like, right now, Harley? And she's like, yeah, Puddin'. Thank you, Puddin'. Thank you, Puddin'. Because she calls him Puddin' all the freaking time. And he's like, well, okay, my love. I'll do what you want me to go do. And he just gets out of the car and walks down the street to go get her a Slurpee or a slushie or one of the two. Meanwhile, now she's left with Bruce Wayne in the car all alone. Woman leans in real close and is like, okay, talk to me now. Why are you helping John? You're Bruce Wayne. You're a billionaire. What can he offer you? And basically we're like, we feel bad for John. John's not, all there. He doesn't have any friends. He came to me in the funeral when he was lonely. And, I'm a good man. Who the fuck is that? Kovu is someone in your room? Wait, what do you mean there's someone in my room? Oh, I try, I try, well, one, Zozo, she's from New Jersey, and not New York. But yeah. Well, I forgot what happens after that. I think we kind of say that we feel bad for him, and she's like, "Oh, well, okay, I can kind of see that, but something I still don't quite trust you, but that seems like a good enough reason." So we get John back into the vehicle, and John hands her the slushie, all that kind of stuff, and she's like, and he's like, "Oh, what were you guys talking about?" And she's like, "Oh, we're just talking about how, Bruce Wayne feels bad for you because you don't have any friends, etc., blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "Isn't that right, Bruce?" And we're stuck with the decision of, like, do we tell him yes or do we tell him no? And, of course, I'm like, I'm not going to lie to him. Yeah, we feel bad for you, John. He's like, well, you don't have to feel bad for me anymore. Like, I have a friend, and it's you, Bruce. Like, you know, John's just the sweetest dude of all. I know it's not either one of them. I'm gonna try my best here, Zozo. All right. You know what? You do better, Zozo. I'm not a woman for one, so that's kind of difficult for me to do. And two, I'm trying to do an accent and also be a lady. Look, I got to work on being a lady. I'm sorry, everybody. But after that, we kind of agree and say, yeah, you know, I feel bad for you, John. John's like, oh, don't worry about that, Bruce. You know, that's why we're friends. No, because you're a nice guy. And she's like, well, and she's like just slurping away her Slurpee like as loud as she possibly can. You know, it's like it's almost to the bottom. You know, when you hear that weird like you're sucking on a straw, but there's no liquid left in it anymore, and it makes that weird sound. So she's like playing that all through the roof, like just as loud as she can. And she's like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever tasted in my life. It's so good. Bruce, don't you want to taste? And she like leans forward, and you guys already know what's going down. You guys already know. Oh, I gotta recall this really quick. While we were at the bar, John told us that he has the biggest crush on Harley Quinn. He said he wants to impress her so he can possibly ask her out. Like, he loves Harley. So, me being the good wingman that I am, me being the great guy that I am, as Bruce Wayne, and this woman is putting her straw all in my face asking me if I want to suck. She literally said, suck on this. I remember that was the exact line she used. She said, suck on this. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And John's like, well, I'll suck on it. And I'm like, bro, pause. And so he grabs it and starts, you know, gets a little taste handed back to her, that kind of thing. And she kind of tells him what the plan is. She's like, well, first I'm going to have to test you if you want to be a part of our gang. There's something that we need. John drives us to Wayne Tower. She said there's something inside of Wayne Tower that I need to get. It's called a phalanx key, which is a key that I guess can like open a bunch of doors or can open something. I don't know what it can open quite yet. So we get to Wayne Tower, and I'm like, I can just go in and get it myself. I walk in, I sign in with the security guard, all that kind of stuff, and I'm walking to the elevator by myself again, when all of a sudden I hear a thwap. Like just a, I realized that thwap when written out, T-H-W-A-P. You know what the WAP part, you know, stands for now, but the thwap part just sounds wild now. We hear a thing in the background. Look, I gotta work on being a lady. I'm sorry. Hey, look, it's true, you know. I'd bonk Harley. Look, I'm just gonna say, Harley. If John wasn't there, I really think that like Harley and Bruce, you know, I don't know, man. Like, she was leaning there real close, but also something like, again, she's very hot and cold. Like, she switches so much. She went from like trying to seduce Bruce to, anyway, I'll continue. It was a lot of things. I turn around and I see nobody else but John and Harley walking to the elevator with me, that kind of stuff. And Harley's like, you know, going up, that kind of thing. And instead of pressing the button, I try to leave the elevator and she pushes me back, which I think is great because I remember when we walked into the place, there were security cameras. So now it would at least seem like I was forced into the elevator, you know, against my will or something, and I was trying to leave. But we end up going up a couple floors when all of a sudden, like, it's not the CEO of Wayne Tech, it's like the COO, I think, of Wayne Enterprises. The elevator stops and opens up, and it's her. She's about to get on, or does actually get on, and she asks, oh, who are these people? Are these friends of yours? And I'm like, yeah, they're friends from out of town, or whatever. And she says, well, these friends of yours do seem kind of like, you know, flamboyant or brash or whatever she says, which triggers Harley. Harley gets very upset. Harley has a gigantic sledgehammer which is covered in blood. It's not very hard to see that these are bad people, or at least one of them is. And she pins this woman against the elevator with said sledgehammer. And I have to defuse the situation. I basically tell my COO, hey, apologize, right? Don't you want to apologize? You want to apologize right now, don't you? And she's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, make it feel real. Like, she's like, I'm so sorry. Nah. Elevator opens up. Woman, luckily, is pinned against the elevator doors. So when the doors open up, she falls back out of the elevator and takes off. We continue up a couple floors, and I have to find this key now. The key is inside the vault. I walk to the vault, and my fingerprint / my identification card no longer works, and it's set for Lucius Fox, who is dead now. So how are we supposed to get in? I gotta do some Batmaning. I gotta walk around and like put together partial fingerprints, make a full fingerprint, all that kind of stuff. Also, something that's in the room is an EMP. We all know what EMP devices do. It knocks out, any electronics in a nearby area or in a certain radius, etc. We know what those do. We get into the vault, and nobody but Lucius's daughter, Tiffany, is inside the vault, holding the one item that we need. I basically plead with her after John walks in as well, telling her to please give me this key. Like, I need you to trust me right now so you don't die, I don't die, nobody dies. Just give me this key. She gives me the key reluctantly and is like, I'm going to trust you this one time. And I also end up telling her basically that her father worked with Batman. I don't tell her that I'm Batman, but I tell her that her father worked with Batman, that's why he's dead. She gives me the key. I give the key to John, or somehow John gets the key so he can like impress Harley, because he wants to impress Harley again. And Harley also says, John, grab this EMP as well too, we're going to need it. We then leave. Man, I love how I'm giving like a full rundown of episode 2 right now. I'm literally on the edge of my seat. Yes, destroy the car. It destroys the cars in Fortnite. Oh my god. After that, we end up going to I think we ended up going to talk with Alfred again. Alfred's still kind of shaken up. I kind of fill Waller and Gordon in on what's going on. I tell Gordon that now that what Waller has against me is that she knows what my identity is. He's like, well, crap. Okay, now I understand why you're being the way you're being, and I feel like an asshole now because I was being a little bitch. And I'm like, you were being a little bitch man. I was being Batman. We were being two different things. From that point, Waller's like, hey, do whatever you need to do to get in good with this gang. All right, no matter what it is, do what you got to do. I'm like, look, I've been Batman long enough. I have a code. I'm gonna stick to it, and I'm trying to be my best Batman, And she's like, hey, I'm trying to say this. I've been in this job for a really long time, and maybe I'm just better at this job than you are, but you're gonna have to break that code of yours, one way or another. Trust me. And I'm like, we'll see. And we have like a little battle of the minds. We get a call from the gangs now to meet up at the headquarters of our new gang, where we end up meeting Bane, Mr. Freeze, Harley Quinn, as well as John, aka Joker, but he's not quite Joker yet. I don't know if he's ever going to be Joker, but they keep calling him John, so I'm calling him John for now. We end up meeting the 4 gang members / gang leaders here. We get immediately rushed by Bane because Bane's like, I don't like him. He looks weak. He lifts Bruce Wayne into the air with like one arm basically, and is like, give me a reason right now why I shouldn't smash your head on the cement. And I'm like, well, I'm super useful and you're gonna need me. And he's like, I don't like his answers. One of the options was to kick him, and I probably should have chose that, but I didn't do that. And I probably would have like earned his respect or something, and I didn't do that whatsoever. So instead I looked over and I'm like, John, can you help me out a little bit here? And he's like, a real man wouldn't need help from another man because men don't help men because, wait, I feel like I didn't think about this clearly. I have a bunch of men that are helping me currently rob vehicles and take things from Gotham PD, but a real man would not have men. Wait. Again, his logic's flawed, but we'll move on. And the way that John ends up helping me is that John sets off the EMP device, which knocks out all electronic devices that are close by. If you guys don't know anything about Mr. Freeze has a container that he keeps his dead wife in. We don't know if she's dead. She's frozen solid because his first experiment, how he got his freeze powers to begin with, went completely wrong, and the man froze his wife. So John sets off the EMP, which he tells us later on he did on purpose, in order to distract Bane and to get Freeze to run in and figure out what the fuck's going on. The EMP device knocks out the contraption, basically keeping his wife alive, and Freeze is on. He's pissed. He's running in like, what the fuck's going on, bro? I'm gonna murder all of you. Everybody getting froze. Freeze, and I mean that literally. We ain't no PD. It's like no Gotham. You know, that's what he's saying. He's like, freeze, no GPD. Like he's ready to set the entire place on ice. And Bruce lies, or I lie, and I'm like, oh, I can fix it. And in the spur of a moment, with Mr. Freeze's hand on the back of my neck, I had to figure out how to stop an EMP device. I failed the first time, I'm not gonna lie. I got my neck froze, I died. But I figured out the second time. So, no, oh my god, ads. I hope you guys are enjoying this like rerun or rundown of last night's debauchery. Because I'm trying to like recall things right now. Did you time that? Did you run that ad right as you were gonna get into the good part? I did not time that. Oh man, BC coming up with the ads. Let's go. It gave me time to take a sip of water. Loving the recap. I only have like maybe 3 minutes left of the recap because maybe I get 4 minutes because we got abs right now. 4 minutes left of the recap and then we'll be finished. I don't know what part that I have a whole minute left and I don't have $5, says Al. I'm giving her time so she doesn't miss anything. Oh man, and then we're gonna get into episode 3. But I can finish this recap in like 3-4 minutes, and then I have literally been live for 43 minutes already. What have I done? Have I been literally just giving recap for like 40 minutes basically? Oh my god. All right, Al is back. Long story short, we end up with Mr. Freeze's hand on the back of our neck saying, "Stop the EMP device." I fail the first time because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Second time, we get a retry. I pass it. EMP device is, offline now. Everything's good. Mr. Freeze basically looks at me and like gives me a nod of approval. I give him a nod of approval. And we go our separate ways. He goes back to check on his wife, make sure everything's fine. Bane then is like, all right, well, we got the cargo, we got the guns. Let's load them up into like the back of the other van or whatever, that kind of thing. Mods only command. Yeah, sorry. We could change that. I don't know if we should though. We spam Kovu or shun. Oh my god, PC, that's not. I mean, it is what you guys do. I did stop though. Long story short, Harley gives us the task of, hey, if you want to be a part of the gang, you have to get all the members, or at least a majority of the members, to like you. Which I'm like, okay, I could do that. John already likes me. Harley already wants me in. It's just convincing Bane and Mr. Freeze now. But while I'm also talking with Harley, I got info from Waller that Harley's father went insane and basically either one was killed or killed himself. One of the two. So I'm trying to confide with her, or like, trying to be, nice to her, and I bring up her father, which I already feel before I even say this, and I know you guys are going to say this too. I already felt that this was a mistake to bring up a woman who is slightly insane, to bring up her dead father. I also felt it was a mistake, but it kept giving me the option to do it. So I was like, alright, I'm just going to do it. And I'm like, I'm sorry about your dad. And she's like, how do you know about my dad? And I'm like, well, I lost parents too. And she's like, how do you know about my dad? And I'm like, because she basically tells me that she had those files deleted. So how would I know them? And I basically kept pushing the whole, like, it's okay to lose a father. She shoots me in the head immediately. I die. Replay. The woman not only shoots me in the head, but she double, triple, quadruple taps while I'm on the floor. I had to retry. Go back into the father conversation. I kind of do the same 2 moves before, and I'm like, I had the option of, I forgot I was in Arkham at one point in the first game. So I was like, I learned about it when I was in Arkham. And she's like, and she was impressed that I found out about that while I was there. And I'm like, well, thank you. Saved it. Now we have to go talk with Mr. Freeze. I know that Mr. Freeze's wife is on ice and he's trying his best to keep her alive. And I go in with the I'm a billionaire, right? I know I have lots of technology. I can help out my friends. He's like, I don't have friends. And I'm like, well, for my people, then I can help them out. I could do whatever you need me to do to keep your wife alive. And he's like, I see through your bullshit. You're full of shit. I don't like you. And walks away. And I'm like, well, he's not wrong. So I go talk with John. John basically gives me like a little bit of advice, and he basically says, hey, the only way I can really talk to Bane is if I give him alcohol or if I get him drunk. We find some alcohol in John's room. We pick up the bottle. We hand it to Bane. We're talking with Bane. And Bane's like, I respect power. I respect brutality. I respect people who fight for what they believe in. Like, he means physically fight. Again, they call him, literally, they describe Bane as being an overgrown bicep. Or bicep, sorry. I don't know why I put a T at the end of that. Overgrown bicep. Bane ends up finding a rat from the Gotham PD raid. And he drags this person in, throws a metal bar between Bruce Wayne and this man and says, alright, whoever beats the other one's brains in first wins my approval. Good luck. I defend myself at first. I disarm the man, I get the crowbar, and I'm like, oh, I have the choice of hitting him, and I choose not to. The man rushes me, takes the crowbar, beats my skull in. I have to retry. So I retry it again, get to the option of I hit him once across the head, the man's already down, and I have the option to keep hitting him or not, and I say no. I throw the crowbar to the side, and Bane's like, you should have killed him, I don't like you. And I'm like, well, alright, messed that one up too. I am the worst Batman. It comes to voting time. Harley and John vote me in. Bane and Mr. Freeze say I don't like him. Well, Harley's like, well, we need the EMP device. The only person who knows how to work it, unfortunately, here is Bruce. So Bruce is in. I'm sorry. He's like, well, all right, we do need the EMP device. So whatever, he can be in. The EMP device is used. We get to this area, like the street of Gotham, where there's a bunch of like federal agent vehicles that are I guess escorting something or someone. And we use it basically to like disable all their guns and to disable all their vehicles. That's what we use the EMP device for. We raid against all these agents and everything, and I am tasked with either following Bane to the end to like, you know, to help him or to help Harley Quinn. I choose Bane because I keep thinking my logical sense is like Bane does not care about people, and he's a very brute force man. So he will decapitate and just crush skulls, and he just won't care. Harley will at least hit you, and like you might live. You know, it's a 50-50. With Bane, you're not going to live though. So I choose to go with Bane. We end up getting the package, which looks like a coffin of some sort, or some sort of box. And I'm like, okay, well, who's in the box? While Harley doesn't make it out, because I didn't choose Harley. Harley doesn't make it out. Like, she's just surrounded by agents, and we just leave her because Bane's like, F Harley, I don't like Harley, I'm in charge now. So he decides to just leave. John's very upset. He's like, we have to go back for Harley. We have to go back for Harley. We have to go back for Harley. I'm like, John, don't worry, we go get Harley. It's okay. We'll go back for her. He's like, let's go right now. And Bane's like, it's already too late. She's either dead or in jail. It doesn't matter, dude. Let her go. So we finally get this thing that we're looking for, and we're given, or we get the key as well, the phalanx key that we stole from Bruce's secret vault in his office, and we use the key to unlock this box. Inside the box is the dead body of the Riddler. What we need it for, I have no idea. But we now have the dead body of the Riddler. And to top things off, Bane says to me, well, now we have all the pieces that we need. Now, whenever the thief gets here, we can begin. And lo and behold, the person who descends from the ceiling to join the party is none other than Catwoman. And that's where we start episode 3, ladies and gents. Here we go.